Tom Lynch and Brent Riley had surgery late last year. How are they tracking? They're more eyeing round one, or do you expect them to play a bit in that challenge?
Oh, they'll just play, and same with Walker. They'll just play when they're ready. I mean, I think sometimes we get a little bit focused on, they've got to be ready by round one, and we can sometimes make a poor decision in when we play those guys. I think Brent Riley probably won't be ready for the start of round one. He needs to get confidence in his shoulder with the contact, but yeah, Lynchy should be ready. I mean, he's getting a fair bit of running now under his belt, and I can't see any reason why he wouldn't be up and ready to roll in round one. But once again, if it's round two, that's no big deal. If it's round four, that's when they're ready. So I think we'll use the same approach with Tex too. It's probably foolish to come out and say he'll be ready round one. He probably will be ready round one, but when he's confident, when we're confident, when the medical team are confident, and he's got some game time under his belt, that's when we'll play Tex as well.
Interchange caps at 130, I think. We look to play with that. It's a bit harder with obviously being able to play 26 players, but how do you go in terms of trying to get that right for round one? Yeah,
it's definitely something that we'll look at as well. Probably more so, depends on the weather too. I know the AFL are going to adjust the cap and the length of the game if the temperature gets above a certain level. So, I mean, who knows? We know here in Adelaide we can get some hot days, and it could be 40 plus against Port at Richmond Oval in a couple of weeks' time, and won't be such an issue when we play Carlton in week two, and then we play a practice match against GWS in Sydney. So once again, we won't be foolish with how we approach it depending on the weather conditions and the heat. We won't expose our players to any unnecessary risk. But at the same time, it's important that we get up and playing and rolling and get in some winning form leading into Geelong round one.
You mentioned Danger and Tomo and some of those more experienced guys.
Yep.
Is there an idea in your head about how many games or minutes you want those guys to play, or will that just be managed throughout the...
Yeah, very much depends upon the individual and what they need. I mean, some of those guys like Thompson, he probably needs a game and a half, I think, before round one. Other guys, like even Dangerfield, he's still 23 years old. We forget he's still very much a baby in AFL terms. But he might need some more game time just to get his confidence up and ready to roll. But yeah, we'll try and settle that down as best we can. I guess the GWS game is probably the match to look at, where that's the week before we play Geelong. We'd like to settle the team down by then for sure.